What is up, guys? Rick Kackis here, and today we are going to be showcasing the best vendor weapon rolls available this week, which is May 30th to June 6th. Now that's because with the introduction of the Age of Triumph, vendors now have rotating perks on their inventories. So every week we go in and shout out the best combinations that you should definitely consider buying. And so let's get started this week because we got some pretty spicy things available for sale. We're going to start here with the universal vendors, beginning with the good old Crucible Quartermaster, and starting us right off, we have one of the best weapons you can possibly get in the game right now with the Palindrome Hand Cannon. Absolute PvP all-star, and this week's roll is definitely good for that. Firstly, Icarus, improved accuracy while airborne. This combined with the already inherently good in-air accuracy of hand cannons means that you can land your shots while in the air. Very good in PvP. This is also combined with the absolute best perk you're looking for in a PvP palindrome roll, which is Rifled Barrel, massively increasing the range at the cost of a little bit of reload. Now, again, this is the best thing you want. You want your hand cannons to have the best range they can so that you can land those disgusting three-shot kills. Now, if you want to use this in PvE, you're kind of in luck because instead of Rifled Barrel, you can just put on Explosive Rounds, which is the best perk you're looking for PvE hand cannons, so that's pretty cool. And lastly, we have Luck in the Chamber. A random bullet does more damage. This definitely isn't the best. Rangefinder would be better, but this is serviceable, and everything else about this roll is absolutely fantastic. If you need a good PvP hand cannon, pick up this palindrome. Now, moving on from there, we have hashtag Cult of the Curtain Call. This thing is still trucking every single week. It has a decent roll, and this week, no different. So firstly, we have Accurized Ballistics. More range and impact, and you can see you get a benefit to both at the cost of some stability. After that, knee pads is actually a very good perk. You can slide further, that's going to get the jump in your opponents, that's going to confuse your opponents, all around good PvP perk. After that, Reinforced Barrel. This and Rifled Barrel are the two best shotgun perks you're looking for, massively increasing the range, this time at the cost of a little bit of stability, which is fine for a shotgun. And lastly, you have Crowd Control. If you get a kill, you're going to do more damage for the other kill, which is great for a shotgun. You can get that one-hit kill and then extend your range and power potential for the next follow-up kills coming up. Actually very good for PvE as well. So if you need a shotgun, this Curtain Call is the best one to buy this week. Very serviceable, going to be actually decent in PvP and alright in PvE as well. Now moving on from there, we have a very good Event Horizon sniper rifle roll. Firstly, we have the Longview SLR-10 sight. Not the absolute lowest zoom scope, just a little bit higher zoom than something like an ambush, but has a lot of aim assist that comes with it actually. Now then after that, we've got Perfectionist. If you land all precision shots, your magazine is refunded. Actually not bad with this special ammo economy. If you're a sniper god, do you think you can trigger this? Go for it. After that, Army of One, I think it's actually pretty underrated. If you get kills with it, it actually fairly substantially recharges your grenade and melee, which are both quite useful no matter what you're doing. After that, Explosive Rounds is decent, but mainly we're looking at this because of Casket Mag, increasing your magazine from 3, which is normally what you get with this high damage archetype. You can kill any super with a single headshot in PvP with the Event Horizon, but it increases it to 4. Which is really, really useful. Then, lastly, Firefly. When you get a precision kill, your enemy explodes, damaging all enemies nearby. This is actually a pretty damn good PvE sniper roll. Getting those high damage archetype snipers up to 4 rounds in a magazine is really, really good for your DPS. And then also having Firefly to deal with normal adds. If this had triple tap, it would be the literal god roll. I would be screaming to buy it. This is just one perk away from that. But the crazy part is that this is also still a good roll for PvP. This isn't a PvP god roll, this isn't a PvE god roll, but it lies quite literally in the middle of both of those. So definitely consider picking this up if you're interested in either part of the game. But it's time to move away from the Crucible Quartermaster and say hello to the Vanguard Quartermaster with some, again, spicy things available for sale. Starting us off here with the Continental Auto Rifle. Firstly, we have the Quickdraw IS sight, going to allow you to aim down sights faster than normal, obviously great for when you're engaging other enemies. After that, Rodeo, which is going to decrease your vertical recoil, just all around decent perk. Then, importantly, Braced Frame. As you can see, massively increasing the stability, almost reaching the absolute cap for stability at the cost of some magazine size, but you already have a magazine of 37, so that shouldn't be a huge issue. And then Third Eye. When you aim down sights, you keep your radar. All around decent perk, but this is definitely something you should consider buying if you like these medium rate of fire auto rifles. Now moving on from there, we have an excellent roll on the Parthian shot pulse rifle. This is a very unique pulse rifle. It can kill in 2 bursts in PvP. It's one of only 2 infusible high damage pulse rifles, the other one being the spare change. Now, firstly, we have the SureShot IS sight. Great sight. It's going to improve your target acquisition, aka aim assist, and increase your stability by a little bit. After that, Outlaw. If you get a precision kill, you can reload a lot faster. Great perk. After that, Perfect Bounce, just purely increasing that stability, great with this pulse rifle. And lastly, what I think is the best perk you can get on this pulse rifle, Headseeker. Like I said, you can kill in 2 bursts, which is going to give you a phenomenal PvP time to kill. But if you get even a single body shot, you can't do that, and it's going to throw your time to kill into the toilet. But with Headseeker, that gives you a second chance. You can get body head, and the increased damage from Headseeker is still going to allow you the potential to get that 2 burst insane kill. Moving on from there, I think it's definitely important to shout out this Angel's Advocate. This is another weapon that has a very unique damage archetype. It does the same damage as the Mida multi-tool, meaning that it can kill in only 4 headshots, but shoots faster than something like a Vision of Confluence scout rifle that also kills in 4 headshots, meaning that this thing is going to be hella deadly in PvP. Now, firstly, we have Mulligan and Life Support. Both are okay. Life Support is actually a very good perk. I think it's pretty underrated, actually. Then we have Braced Frame. This is very important with this gun. Yes, you're going to lower your magazine, but you get an insane bonus to stability, which is exactly what you want with this archetype. You need those follow-up shots to be accurate. And then in the final slot, Third Eye. Actually pretty good with scout rifles. You want to know when people are flanking you, but you still want to aim down sights and engage enemies from long range. Now, moving on, it's time to check in on the faction vendors, beginning with Dead Orbit. Firstly, we have a pretty decent Worlds to Come 001 fusion rifle. Now, this roll we have Quick Draw, okay perk overall. Accelerated coils, some people swear by this perk. It's going to increase your charge time at the cost of a little bit of impact. Then we have Small Bore, increases the range and stability, which are the 2 things you really want the most of with your fusion rifle. And then lastly, Hot Swap. When you swap to your fusion rifle, you're going to get a brief bonus to accuracy. Very good with fusion rifles. This is going to be an excellent roll for people who like these type of fusion rifle rolls, so it's very important to shout out that. Moving on from there, however, we have an incredibly good Bitter Edge 010 sniper rifle roll. This sniper has an insane base aim assist. It's like the 2nd highest aim assist of any legendary sniper in Destiny. Yes, it's insane. Now this comes with the ambush sight, one of the better sights you're looking for in the game. It comes with Quick Draw, insanely good sniper rifle perk, allowing you to switch to your weapon quicker. Then we have Explosive Rounds, which is actually pretty decent. We have Triple Tap, 3 rapid shots, gives you 1 shot back, pretty decent as well. And then lastly, Hidden Hand. Hidden Hand with this sniper that already has insane aim assist. Like, this thing is going to be disgusting. This thing is going to basically aim itself, so consider buying this Bitter Edge. And lastly, for Dead Orbit, we actually have a very good Unto Dust 0-0 rocket launcher roll. Firstly, with hard launch, increasing the blast radius and the velocity, which is exactly what you want. We then have Quick Draw and Field Scout, which increases the carried ammo capacity. Pretty damn good, actually. And then Tripod. Now, this is going to allow you to carry 3 shells in a magazine, and this is backed up by tracking, arguably the best perk you are looking for in PvP. So 3 rounds of tracking is definitely no joke. Consider buying this if you need a decent legendary rocket launcher for PvP, and even PvE, this is going to be actually pretty decent. Now, moving on from there, we have Future War Cult with definitely, I would say, the highlight of this week. An absolute PvE god roll hand cannon. Like, this thing is disgusting, and it is the Wail. So, we've got, firstly, explosive rounds. Again, the best perk you were looking for, period, on PvE hand cannons. You need to spread around your damage. You need to be able to hit multiple enemies at the same time. This is backed up by Hammer Forged. Now, most hand cannons cannot get this. They cannot get a bonus to range and explosive rounds. You know, consider the Palindrome we just looked at. You could have rifled barrel or explosive rounds. The Wail actually kind of gets both. Now, this is again backed up by Firefly. So, Firefly plus explosive rounds plus Hammer Forged. This is a do-it-yourself Fatebringer. The Fatebringer is good because you get explosive rounds and Firefly. And Outlaw, which is actually pretty good as well, but this is doing its damn best impression. If you haven't beaten the Vault of Glass, the remade Vault of Glass, and you don't have a legendary Fatebringer, buy this Wail. It is very close. It's about as close as you can get to that Fatebringer. Now, after that, we have a pretty deadly roll on the Waltz Pulse Rifle. Firstly, Quick Draw IS can allow you to aim down sights faster, very good sight. Then, high caliber rounds. Excellent perk, going to cause more flinch in opponents when you're shooting them and going to allow you to win those gunfights easier. Then we have Perfect Balance, increases the stability, exactly what you want. And lastly, Glass Half Full. You cause more damage with the second half of your magazine. This is overall a pretty damn solid roll. If you like this archetype of pulse rifle, definitely consider picking this up. And moving on, we have the last faction vendor for this week with New Monarchy. And it has some pretty damn good rolls. Firstly, this Assembly 2 auto rifle. This is a fast firing auto rifle capable of spitting out a lot of damage pretty quickly. And firstly, we have the Steady Hand IS. The absolute best sight you're looking for on this auto rifle. As you can see, pretty damn good chunk of bonus stability just for a sight. Then we have high caliber rounds. Again, causing that flinch. Very, very important with these close range weapons. You really need to win your engagements, and high caliber rounds is going to help you do so. After that, Perfect Balance, increasing the stability. This combined with the sight is actually going to make this relatively manageable. And then lastly, Rangefinder. Aiming down sights increases the range. As you can see by the range, anything to help the range is very, very needed. And lastly, funny enough, if you're a new player and you didn't level up Future War Cult and you can't get that Wail and you still want a Fatebringer clone, the Free Will 3 has you covered. It also has explosive rounds and Firefly. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have anything like Hammer Forged. That would be much better, but it does have Perfect Balance to further increase the stability, make this thing a lot easier to use. But still, it's a legendary hand cannon with explosive rounds and Firefly in the same exact role. This is going to do, again, an impression of the Fatebringer. Not as good as an impression as the Wail we looked at earlier, but again, if you're a new player who only leveled up New Monarchy, get this Free Will. It's going to be a pretty deadly PvE hand cannon. And guys, that is it for all of the best vendor weapon rolls available this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative. Now, if you want to see more Destiny and Destiny 2 content and don't want to miss out on next week's episode of Best Vendor Roles, be sure to slap that subscribe button. Now, if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.